Okay, I'm doing a video today on a Massdrop product. These are HifiMan HE 4XX, and they are a Massdrop product. And they're, I guess, reasonably well built. There's like that is really stiff. Maybe it'll work in. I don't know. Maybe the hinge will break before it does. I don't know. This is probably a weak component right here where they adjust. I think treat them lovingly. They're not a massive headphone by any means. They're a nice size. They're just a nice size. You know, that's probably printed cup. I don't know. They're planar. They didn't come with these pads. These are an upgrade. So they came with a pad, which I replaced, and I put on fenestrated sheepskin. And I thought it was memory, but I don't think that is actually. Although it could be. It's a pretty slow rebound. Not slow enough, though, to be memory. So they are a planar, and I've had them now for a little while. One of the things I liked about these, and I've said this before in other videos about other headphones I have, because I try and, it shouldn't be the deciding model, but it certainly is a nice advantage when they come with a 2.5 plug, right? So when I want to plug them in, I use a 2.5, of course, and you know, so it's just like that. And I have several headphones with the same cord, and I really enjoy. I wish these guys would standardize something like this. And 2.5 to me seems like a great idea. Make it 3.5. I don't care, but just standardize it, because you know you've got all these headphones with different fancy proprietary plugs, and oh god. Anyway, you end up with 20 cables. So, build quality on these is I think okay. Although this part up here, I'm concerned it may not weather very well. Weather time, but the clamp is good. Sound signature, I find them nice. I really enjoy them. Don't get me wrong. They're very nice. I find them a little bright on the upper end, and I don't know why that is. Like if I compared them to the Fostec TR50 T50 RPs, for example, which I have right here. So these are planar as well. And I like the sound signature of these. I prefer the sound signature of these to these. These take a lot more to drive. Like on my amp here, which is a headphone amp, which is a Gustard A40 or A20H. I can't remember which it is. I think it's an A20H. It's got lots of power. I'll top out with these all the time. With these, it doesn't take that much power to drive them. Nowhere near the magnitude that's here. They're nice. I really enjoy them. I'm a little skeptical about how long they'll hold up, but you know they certainly are fantastic sounding. And a nice set of phones, and the price point is phenomenal. So you know, if anybody's not familiar with Massdrop, I guess sign up at your own peril. I did, and I say sign up at your own peril because they send you all these teaser emails of products that you're probably going to like, and more often than not, I do. And so more often than not, I end up buying a product. One thing I'll say about Massdrop, you have to be careful. I don't live in the United States. If you live in the United States, fill your boots. I wish I did, because only from the perspective of Massdrop. But depending on the shipper, so when they produce a product at Massdrop, they probably don't even ship it themselves. Usually, I don't even think they're involved. I think it's contractual. and a marketing firm, really, right? So they'll have somebody who's going to produce these, or they may produce them themselves. I guess if they're producing themselves, they'll have some control over the shipping, but often they don't have any control over the shipping. And what happens is they'll fill the sales order. It'll go to the manufacturer or whoever's producing these. Well, that would be the manufacturer. And they'll produce them and ship them direct to you. Often they use DHL. And I've got a real beef with them because they're in the extortion business when it comes to duties and imports. So I'll get products from Massdrop, and they'll come DHL, and the product will be a $50 item. And the duties on it will be, I don't know, $3-4. Fine, no problem. Duties and taxes. And the Massdrop fee, not the Massdrop fee, the DHL fee for processing that will be $20-25. You know, so you know, if it was a $1,000 item, sure, that's fine, $25. But when it's approaching 50% of the cost of the item, it irks me. And you know, more often than not, if I know what's coming, I don't know how they're going to ship it. And quite often they'll ship it and I'm oblivious to it, and it'll show up and there's absolutely no problem. But when they ship with DHL, more often than not, it's a huge issue, and I end up sending the stuff back. I don't accept it because the duties on it are prohibitive relative to the purchase price of the item. Anyway, I digressed onto the shippers. These are a worthwhile purchase. These are a worthwhile purchase. And I think your only place you can buy them is Massdrop, and they're the 4XX, HifiMan 4XX. Open back, planar. They're small. The cups aren't bad, you know, well, 2.5, 3. But they sound nice. At times on some songs, I find them a little bright. What I would really like is something halfway between these two. Would be about perfect. I find these the vocals can be a little recessed, and they're hard to drive. These are a nice balance. I find the vocals can be a little bright at times, a little bit. Whether or not the bigger pads have anything to do with that, I'm not sure. I don't recall doing a comparison. And the pads are not huge relative to the ones they came with. But I kind of think the ones they came with were velour, and I just don't like velour pads. It's kind of a personal hygiene thing, right? They get kind of greasy and grimy and whatnot. I much prefer lambskin or cowhide or some form of even vegan leather. I don't care. I'm not into the. I have no problem with renewable resources, aka leather or sheepskin. I'm eating the sheep anyway. We might as well make use of the skin. So I know I might get some feedback on that, but that's how I feel about it. And you're entitled to your own opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. So at any rate, these are a buy, definitely. I definitely like them. They're a great sounding headphone, and the price is great. And whether or not you upgrade the pads or not, that's your preference. And again, as far as build quality, this would be my only concern, but it hasn't failed yet. But it could, and if it does, it'll be a massive failure. And I guess the question would be, where would I get replacement parts for that? Whether I can get them from HifiMan or not. It looks like a standard item. I mean, it might not be the same color, and it might not have HifiMan HE 4XX, but I'm betting I can get a replacement part for that if I need it eventually. So anyway, that's it. If the drop's up, and I don't know if the drop is up, I don't think it is, but it comes and goes, and it'll be up a couple times a year. These are buy.